Let's talk about goals, visions, objectives, metrics. These are all weird terms to a lot of us. They seem to imply the same thing. And we oftentimes get asked about them, especially if we're in a leadership position. We're often asked to define these type things. In an audit, inevitably one of the questions you get asked is, tell me about your quality policy. And folks tend to talk about these things have to be in alignment. So let's discuss briefly what these terms mean. What's a vision? What's a goal? Objectives, metrics, KPIs. Why do they matter? How do we define them? So let's dig into it briefly. So let's start at the top. So vision. If you are a department leader, you may not have a lot of say in what the company vision is, but there should be some sort of a vision. So I'll give you an example here with Texas Quality Assurance. So our vision is really quite simple: to help organizations save time and energy for what matters most through quality and compliance management. So, but part of that vision, though, is that we're going to do this through a very personalized manner, through a very human touch. Because let's face it, folks, quality, compliance management, not exactly the most personable topics out there, right? So it's part of what we try to do. So we're going to use this example as we kind of step through here. So it's kind of our vision is we want to provide unique services for quality management, compliance management to help folks save time and energy for what matters most. And that's part of our company mission statement. Now, as we dig a little bit deeper into this, we're going to talk about our objectives, right? Because you could even take this, our mission, our vision statement here. We could pretty easily craft this into a quality policy. But then we're going to have objectives that back it up, right? So some of those objectives could be to minimize customer complaints. A objective could be to have a certain percentage of our customers achieve certification within a certain time frame. And these are all things that can be measured and can be determined. That's why they are objectives, because they have an objective measure to it. But even then, that only gets so detailed. So then, as a department leader, you have your own individual metrics. You have your own KPIs, key performance indicators. And these are very specific numbers that you are personally responsible to. When well defined, your KPIs will be in relation to an objective. That objective is in relation to the policy. That policy is in relation to the overall strategy and vision of the organization. So I'll take an example here from us. So we want to maintain so much profitability on our work. It's pretty common for any organization. Even nonprofits want to minimize cost. Maybe not profitability, but they want to maintain a minimal cost and a certain return on that investment. So you have to have ways you're going to achieve this. One of the ways that we achieve this is through this personalized manner that we've talked about. So we need to define certain measures. So let's take our sales team, for instance. A pretty common objective for pretty common metric for your sales team would be that they have to make so many calls per day, so many emails, so many follow-ups, and you track these various activities. By itself, tracking those activities is kind of a worthless exercise, and we have similar issues with the production environment, so we want to make sure that we produce so many parts per minute and so forth. But let's take the sales example. We actually don't care very much about how many emails or phone calls are made. The metric we check is our meetings. We want to identify how many meetings per week our sales folks are setting. And this is important for us. This is why I use this as an example. It's because I said that part of our vision is to provide a very personalized touch for this process. So if we can track the number of meetings that our folks are setting up on a regular basis, we've been able to ensure that personalized touch that otherwise we might not get with tracking just strict volumes of calls and volumes of emails. So we pick that metric and we pick that KPI very specifically so that it follows in alignment from the bottom to the top. So when you're identifying your vision and your goals and your measures, taking a look at the policy and the objectives and the KPIs, it's very vital to ensure that one supports the other to help achieve the end goal. Do keep in mind, though, that you always have the option to change. We can make updates, we can make modifications, we can see what did work, what didn't work. Did this help us achieve our end goal? And if not, we need to turn around, make some adjustments, try again, and monitor and measure those results and see if it got us towards the end goal and the end vision. Last thing I want to leave you with here is that you want to make sure that the folks in your organization, from the top down to the absolute bottom of the hierarchy, that everyone understands how their role impacts every piece of that puzzle from the bottom to the top. This does not mean give them some corporate fluff brochure to read through and memorize. It means to sit down with them or walk around with them as they work and actually explain why we care about this number, why we track this number, so that you can get some honest results, good feedback, and continue to drive the results that you need for your organization. And right now, in this post-COVID, the shutdown, the oil price crash, in this market, these things are more important than ever. We cannot lose sight of what our organization's vision and mission is, but at the same time, we have to ensure that we're taking the steps necessary to make sure that the folks from the bottom rungs of the organization to the very top are working together towards a singular mission and goal, even though their functions and job duties are very diverse and measured in many different ways.